Hey everybody, it's Murgle, and today in this one I finally wanted to show off my ultimate dungeon farming AoE leveling Paladin set. I don't know what you want to call it, but I've been using it to level my alts. I invested a lot of gold into this, and I like it a lot. And I think that you could people pay for dungeon boosting, for leveling or twinking or a lot of things, and I feel like you could probably make a lot of gold selling that to people building a set like this. But I'm going to show off how capable it is, like how it's really, really effective at what it does, and all the things about it. So, first off, all the gear that I'm wearing, just a Gint's helm, drops an upper black rock, medallion of the Grand Marshal Morris. This is a bought item. It's a BOE. Again, stockade pauldrons, another bought item. Pretty expensive from time to time. Don't really have a cloak yet. Just haven't found anything good enough. Demon Forge Breastplate. This is a armor smithing pattern, and I like it a lot because especially when farming dungeons, it's really, really good. It scales with spell power, so it can heal you a lot, especially when doing really, really big pulls. Rune Golem Shackles. Again, just another bought item. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would say there's another pair that came out with Dire Maul that I prefer to have, but it's not that big of a deal, especially when farming dungeons. Um, for a weapon, you should really go with whatever has the highest spell power. Like if you could somehow get your hands on a Mage Blade and put 30 spell power on it, that would be really, really good. But it's kind of hard to get a Mage Blade, so best of luck with that one. I have a Skull Flame shield, but I also have two other shields in my inventory. And you want to put Thorium spikes on every shield because it's all about damage you can cleave back to the enemies by just letting them hit you, reflect damage. So Skull Flame shield, and I have two Force Reactive discs. These require 300 engineering to wear, but they do a lot of damage. A lot of damage. And then Deathbone in a lot of pieces. I have Judgment leg plates. I would wear Deathbone in place of this if I didn't have these, but if you can get a pair of these, it's pretty good to have them because they have decent spell damage and really high stats. Go for whatever rings you can find. That I have a Naggle ring because it does 3 damage back. This whole build is all about spell reflect damage pretty much. Or not spell reflect, just reflect damage in general. So get a hold of one of these. I have a Songstone in the other one because it gives decent spell power. And then for trinkets, I have Essence of Pure Flame and Uther Strength. This procs a lot. It's debatable. I can't really decide yet which I prefer. This or the one off Emperor in BRD. Blackrock Depths. See, this one procs a ton too, the Force of Will. I have it in my bank. It's very nice because it reduces the damage you take a lot, especially when doing massive pulls in dungeons. But now it's just time to show off all this wonderful gear. It's very expensive. I'd say probably invested well over 2,000 gold. But it's very, very nice for leveling my alts. Now, if you only have a single account, you can't really level your alts with it, obviously. But I think you could make a ton of money selling dungeon runs to people because you level up so quickly when getting ran through dungeons like this. It's so nice for alts. And I'll just show it off here. So the reason this is so powerful is because with the talent build I have, I can pull pretty much like you would in the current version of the game. There's not a whole lot of limits to what will kill me. Now, some of these things in here silence, which would actually kill me, unfortunately. But if everything is melee based, you can pull really, really effectively. It only gets hard when there's healers in the group. But I'm just going to show you. I'm going to do a pretty massive pull. And you can see the Skull Flame. I wear that when pulling because the 3% proc rate to heal me. This scales with spell power, and it's actually really, really nice because it'll just heal you a little bit, as well as the chest piece healing me. So I get plenty of healing over time while just pulling. Just aggro everybody in here. And if you start to get kind of low, now in this case, again, they silence, so it's kind of annoying. But you can swap to Concentration Aura, and it doesn't matter how many things are hitting you because you're in a holy talent spec along with protection talent spec. It means you can heal no matter how many things are hitting you. So, just going to keep pulling. We can get pretty low because we're not that worried about dying. Okay. We're going to jump off here. Go ahead and fully heal up. We used our guaranteed crit heal. And then just Holy Lighted, of course. Now the Skull Flame is proccing a lot there. You see all the damage that it's done so far. 20,000 damage on just pulling, right? I haven't even stopped yet. But we're almost at our stopping point. We're going to swap to our Ret Aura, get some reflect damage on him, and we're going to put on the Force Reactive Disc. You're going to see all the procs that it'll do, and how fast they're going to die. Now you need multiple of the Force Reactive Disc because the proc causes durability damage to it. So it breaks very rapidly. And that's why we have a lot of them. Right? 2 of them instead of just the 1. Even though they're like 700 gold each, it's pretty much necessary when doing these kinds of pulls. But there we go. Everything's already dead. And there's no other class that would really be able to survive pulling like that. A mage can do way more AoE damage, by far, 100%. But you will simply not survive that pull. You will not get very far at all, because these do a lot of damage to you over time. And there is no way you could pull like that. But you saw, Force Reactive Disc, a third of my damage there. The Flame Strike was right on number 2, and we used it during the pull. And it's just the Force Reactive Disc is very reliable, especially when pulling. And then, of course, Consecration. This is why you want a lot of spell power in your build, because that was the majority of my damage, of course. But I am very, very happy with the results. I wanted to make this character all built out like this for a long time, and I wondered if it would work out into my favor. The only thing I was disappointed about was, oh, look, see, we got a BOE. It's nice, it's effective, and it's good for farming money, especially in a place like Shadowfang Keep. But I thought that the Force Reactive Disc, based on the wording of it, was going to scale with spell power when I read it. And apparently at one time it did, but it got fixed later in vanilla. If it hadn't, I can only imagine the kind of damage it could pull. It's very, very good in high-level dungeons, too. This whole build, I can tank high-level dungeons very, very effectively. Pallies aren't really good in raids, simply because no taunt, so it wouldn't really matter. But I can tank very effectively, do very quick runs, because the DPS on this is far greater than any kind of like normal tank can pull. You will pull a lot of damage with this build. It's very fun tanking high-level dungeons. I mean, I really can't say enough good things about this and how effective it is for a lot of stuff. It is very costly, though. But I hope this little demonstration was fun for you, and you got to see. I like it. I'm glad I put the money into it, and I look forward to using it to level my ults. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.